Hey everybody, I'm Tasha with the Major Change Group, and today I want to talk about credit card debt. But first, I had a question. Can you live without credit cards? And I'm thinking, can I live without credit cards? Because the thing is, I have 14 credit cards, 13 of those are personal credit cards, and one is a business credit card. And I use my credit cards for everything, mostly everything, because I like to get the points and the cash back and all that. But then on the same hand, if we have credit card debt, but then we're trying to use the points and cash back, it's just like on the one hand, that's really not going to work. And so I was thinking, when I think about my credit card journey, I have definitely had my fair share of credit card debt, and I have paid my fair share of interest on credit cards. But then it got me to thinking, for me to get to a point to where I didn't have credit card debt and for me to be able to use credit cards responsibly, I did the Dave Ramsey baby steps. And so, with baby step one, you want to save $1,000, and then baby step two, you want to pay down debt. But really, I'm focusing on credit card debt. But for me, first, what I did, I just used cash. So I just used cash. But then I was just like, you know what? That's not really going to work. And then second, I started using my debit card. And so that was working for me, using my debit card. So I did that for a while. And then I was like, you know what? I think that I could really use credit cards more responsibly, because by that point, I was doing my budget, because I really think that that's the foundation of everything, using our budget so that we can know how much money is coming in compared to going out, and then how much money that we have left over. But ultimately, I think to not have credit cards, we have to almost be in the mindset that I can live without credit cards. And it even got me to thinking about it because when I had opened up that American Express Hilton Honor Surpass, and then I was waiting for them to send me the points, and they didn't send me the points. Y'all, I had got so mad to where I was like, you know what? I'm going to cut that credit card off. But then also, I'm going to cut all of my American Express credit cards off. So then that's where I really had got in the mindset to where it's like, do I really have to use credit cards? Now, I didn't cut any of my credit cards off then, but I'm just like, it really kind of got me into the mindset to where it's just like, I can use credit cards or I cannot. I think first we ultimately have to get to a point to where we can not have credit card debt and we can use credit cards responsibly, because I really feel like we can use credit cards responsibly, but we have to make sure that we are only spending within our means and paying the credit cards off every month. Let me know in the comments, but then also go over to my community tab, because I have a poll on my community tab asking, one, do you have credit card debt? But then two, how much credit card debt do you have? And really, I do think that I want to put the poll on there asking, do you think that you could live without credit cards? So I'll probably put that up later today. The thing is, on my channel, I love talking about credit cards because, one, I'm always thinking about what's the next credit card that I'm going to get. But I think it's also a responsibility for me to talk about the other side and making sure, how can we use credit cards responsibly? And so that's why I was just kind of thinking of that question. How can we, can I live without credit cards? And ultimately, I do think that I can live without credit cards. But then also, how can we make sure that we're not, getting new credit card debt or accumulating credit card debt? And so I do want to move into how to pay off credit card debt. And the first thing is, one, we got to create that baseline to know where are we starting. And so that's going to mean getting all of our credit cards, getting all our statements, and finding out how much credit card debt do we have, what are the interest rates on those credit cards, so that you can decide, okay, do I want to do the debt snowball or do I want to do the debt avalanche? And so I really do like to do the debt snowball, because you can do quick wins. And so I think sometimes with doing those quick wins, it can keep you in the mindset to pay off debt, because sometimes if you do the debt avalanche, and let's say you have a credit card that has a high interest rate, but then it has a high balance, it might take you a long time to pay that credit card off. And so you can lose steam sometimes. So that's why I like the debt snowball better than the debt avalanche. But on the same hand, you have to do what's best for you. And then next, but you really want to create a budget so that you can know how much money you have coming in compared to going out, so that you'll know how much money you have each month to be able to pay that credit card debt down. And so that's going to be very important. And then creating that plan to do your debt snowball, picking the avalanche or the debt snowball to be able to pay it, pay it down, but creating that plan to be able to do it, because that's the best way to stay on track, by creating a plan. But I think one way to pay off credit card debt pretty quickly is by doing a balance transfer. And that's something that I have done, a balance transfer, because when I had actually opened up the Discover It, I actually had two credit cards with Bank of America, even though I don't have them no more because they closed it. But I was using my Bank of America credit cards really to kind of do things around the house. And so the last time I had to get a HVAC unit, and so I had put it on the credit card, and then I ended up transferring it over to the Discover It. So I want to say I had 15 months, 15 to 18 months to be able to pay it off. And so that's what I did. I used that Discover It to pay down the debt with having the 0% interest. So I really took advantage of that. But you have to create a plan if you want to be able to use, the 0% interest. Because if we don't have a plan for it, it's like, man, that time be going fast. Because you have between 15 to 18 months, but time be going by so fast. And it's like, if you don't create a plan, then next thing you know, the the 15 or 12 to 18 months is done, and then now you still have the debt, but then now you have the interest that you got to pay on it. So it's very important to create that plan. You'll have to let me know in the comments, what are you thinking? One, do you think that you can live without credit cards? But then two, if you have credit card debt, how are you going about paying down that credit card debt? Which ultimately leads to, can you use credit cards responsibly? So let me know in the comments, what do you think about that? But then also go over to my community tab and take those polls. The first poll is, do you have credit card debt? And then the second poll is, how much credit card debt do you have? But then also, I'm gonna put another poll up to say, can you live without credit cards? Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's talk about it in the comments. But I hope that you found this video helpful. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and turn your notification bell on so you'll be notified when new content drops. I thank you so much for watching. Until next time. It's not a game,